1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony. Until one day, a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
Good evening. Welcome back to another Kneejerk stream on Sunday as we talk about Game Week 6. It's not quite finished. We've still got the very exciting Crystal Palace versus Brighton game to go. And obviously, there's a lot of Sanchez owners, Gallagher probably as well, Duffy. But we're also going to look ahead to Game Week 7. I think a lot more people probably looking to Wildcard now if they haven't already. For Game Week 7, obviously looking at it for Game Week 8. I'm pretty much locked into Game Week 8 wildcard now. I think I'm just going to get too far behind, and I'm going to take too many hits. So I'm just going to do it. I think I'm pretty much locking myself into Game Week 8 wildcard. So it's an interesting week. Arsenal looking good. Bit of a knee-jerk on there. I've just been, Arsenal. I did mention them on what I know. I had some idiots tweeting me about my Saka tweet, but I did talk about them on the final thoughts. I mean, the fixture run from Game Week 8 looks good, and the fact they've just beaten Spurs so convincingly It's decent. Davern, member for 2 months. Thank you very much. Jimenez is a good player to get in after all. Absolutely. Absolutely. You don't need to wait until a player score to bring them in. It's literally the same conversation as last week with Saar. Exactly the same conversation. How come your wildcard in Game Week 8 and not 7? I just don't think my team will improve that much by a Game Week 7 wildcard. I think I can get through this week. I don't mind not having 3 Chelsea players this week. I'm happy to captain Ronaldo again. So yeah, that's about it really. I think most of the changes I'd make for Game Week 8 just don't like Man City are playing Liverpool. So if I want to bring Man City players in, what's the point? Spurs looking awful. Yeah, I won't be going near Spurs players right now, but they do have a good fixture run from Game Week 12, so I won't completely write them off either. I'm on a green arrow somehow with 50 points. I've gone from 98k to 77k, so that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with how this season's going so far. I'm just waiting for the bad times to come, probably when I wildcard. And I've only got Veltman left. There's a lot of Sanchez owners. I've not even worked out whether I want a clean sheet or not. I played Foster, obviously conceded, which is a bit annoying, but I think probably lucky just to concede one. Like Newcastle played really well. But yeah, pretty good. Really happy with Rafinha. The amount of people I told on the deadline stream to keep him, like people were looking to take him out for hits. Now, if you went for Saar, it probably wasn't as bad. Saar scoring again, amazing. All the it's only Norwich tweets. Well, now it's only Newcastle as well, and he's got Leeds to come. And Jimenez was my favourite moment of the weekend because the amount of people that said he just wasn't a good pick because he hadn't been scoring, and he should have had at least one more return. He just didn't pass to Traore. I mean, Traore would have probably bottled it, but he should, right near the end of the game could have squared it back. Isn't Rafinha injured now? Possibly. We'll have to wait and see. I think it's possibly just the same thing that's been kind of giving him grief already. Got some dirt or something on my t-shirt. So we'll see. We thought he was injured this week. He played. I'm hoping he's okay. You had Saka and Smith Rowe in Ultimate Fan. Very nice. I bench Saka for Townsend, which wasn't too bad, but I also played Kane instead of Aubameyang, which is a bit annoying. Why did you captain Ronaldo? I honestly, the captain hindsights have been out in force this weekend. It's absolutely ridiculous. What was annoying though is that Ronaldo's not on penalty, so that does dampen him as an option even more now. But I'm captaining him again this week. Like if you're going to react like that to a captain, you're in for a long season, honestly. So I'm probably going to captain Ronaldo is my plan. I'm probably going to keep Greenwood. I just don't think this team needs a wild card this week. It depends on fitness. If Rafinha happened to be out, and if Shaw and Ayling were missing out, I probably would wild card this week and just go in with a less than optimal team. But as it stands right now, my plan is to make one defender change. So if Shaw's unfit, it will be to Alonso probably, or a Chelsea defender, and I'll hope that Ayling's fit to play. If not, I'll just play Veltman. And if Shaw's fit, I'm just going to do Ayling to Semedo. And that's it. That'll be my team for the week. Ronaldo captain. Job done. You really had a gut feeling to captain Antonio, and I captained Antonio. Nice. Good points. I thought that was going to end with I captain someone else. Am I thinking of what? Yeah, no, I'm probably not going to wildcard this week. Probably not. I don't think... Like, there's some big questions on the Game Week 8 wildcard. Like, could you lose Antonio? I know I shouldn't be saying that, but could you lose Antonio? Jamie Vardy, what about him? Good option, if you can afford it. It's hard to fit him in, though. That's the problem. I won't be getting Jamie Vardy. There's just no way I'll have enough money for him. Is Shaw must sell now? I don't think so. If he's not fit, then yes, because I think this is the final week you can hold him for now. I was thinking of keeping him through the bad fixtures, but he looked off against Villa, lazy even, and he picked up a knock. Yeah, no, the plan was never to hold him through the bad fixtures for me. But I think you can keep him for Everton if he's fit. But we'll have to wait and see. He's going to miss midweek, so it all depends on what Solskjaer says, and Solskjaer's probably not going to give us any good news. What do I think about Saka for Jota? I don't mind Saka as an option long term. I don't know if bringing him in this week is necessarily a must or anything, but from kind of Game Week 8 onwards, he looks decent. We really have to think about Ramsdale as goalkeeper now. I've still got that little thought in my head that what if Leno plays? But if Foster keeps his place, maybe it's not so bad, you know? Chris, Ronaldo, Shaw, Ayling and Jota to Lukaku, Alonso, Rudiger and Rafinha, Saka for a -4. -8. I don't think so. You don't need to do Ronaldo to Lukaku for a -4, in my opinion, this week. I don't think that Lukaku captain is any better than Ronaldo captain, to be honest with you. So you don't necessarily need to do all those moves this week. Unless you need them for the money, I guess. Like, you could just do... you could just do Jota to Rafinha and then just do one of the defender transfers for free, right? Jose Sa, yeah, I mean, getting an assist from your goalkeeper, that is the stuff of dreams. It's amazing. I don't know how bad Reece James's injury is, but the rumour is that it's kind of... that it could be like 4 weeks plus. So that's pretty bad. I don't know if it necessarily makes Azpilicueta a massively better option, but there are going to be games where he probably plays right wing back. So interesting, I think. Would you be against the wildcard this? No, I mean, it's all team dependent, isn't it? Like, the thing is for me, like I have to shut out the noise. Every single week, people will tell me the team is terrible, it needs a wildcard, my transfers are bad, my captaincy's bad. I get that all week. So people will look at this and tell me it needs a wildcard. All week they'll be telling me that. But I don't think it's that bad, really. Like, if Rafinha's fit, happy to play him against Watford. Jimenez, Antonio, Sarr, brilliant. Ronaldo captain, I'm fine with. He was the plan last week anyway to captain this week. Greenwood, maybe. If there's any kind of thoughts that Greenwood might lose his place, I might be up for taking a hit this week. But I don't know, probably not. And I'll just do one defender transfer. If Ayling and Shaw are out, then it becomes a bit trickier. Maybe I'll wildcard. Look, I'm not completely against Game Week 7 wildcard, but I'd have to have big problems this week. Because I think you'd want to bring in Man City players, but they're playing Liverpool. And I'd probably want to take out Jimenez on my wildcard, but he's playing Newcastle this week, so I don't really want to lose him. I might consider taking Antonio out of my team in Game Week 8. I don't want to lose him before Brentford. Sarr's got another really good fixture. Will I definitely keep him on a wildcard? Possibly. He's not. I haven't completely written him off, but they've all just got really good fixtures this week, so I just don't want to do it. What do you think of Burnley's Cornet? Good fixtures. It's okay fixtures. Are they that? I mean, Norwich is obviously good. I mean, he took his goal really well. Oh wait, no. Oh, I can't remember now. But the thing is, he's 6 million. He's got a knock apparently, a hamstring injury. I didn't even know that. Then it's Man City away, Southampton. I mean, the fixture run's not bad, but I don't think you need to go there. I'd want to see a bit more, I think, personally, from a Burnley midfielder before I go for him. There's so many players around the 6 million mark you can go for that are already kind of proven. Rudiger or Alonso or Cancelo for sure. I definitely wouldn't get Cancelo this week, personally, playing against Liverpool. I guess Alonso's probably the most fun. I actually think Azpilicueta could be the one now. I've actually kind of changed my mind a little bit on that, just because of the James injury. But Alonso's the most exciting one out of those three. But I'd want to see what happens in midweek. Because the thing is Chilwell going to play against Juventus? I don't know. If Alonso's that good now, maybe Alonso plays against Juventus and then Chilwell plays against Southampton. Who knows? Christensen, yeah, not a bad option either. Someone's saying... maybe I have. 49 points, is that above average? I'm not sure. Check on the FPL site. I haven't looked. Or check on live FPL. Up to 179k. Torres to Saka. Yeah, don't mind that move at all. I think Torres has to go now. He's not guaranteed to play. How did Salah not score more than one goal? Yeah, should have had a second one, but he didn't. That's football, I guess. Oh, I can't believe Ronaldo wasn't on penalties. Fair play though. Fair play to Ollie for keeping it on Fernandes. We all said he had the better record. I wonder who will take the next one. The thing is, like, we keep getting questions about Kovacic, like, over the last week or so, just because obviously he's been doing quite well. Again, I'm just not sure whether he'll keep that up. I mean, it's a good fixture. I wouldn't want to... It's not only you waste is probably the wrong word, but you're using a Chelsea spot on Kovacic when you could have double defence in Lukaku. And also, you're taking a midfield spot away from like a Rafinha or a Sarr or a Benrahma or a Saka or a Salah, etc. Like, the list just goes on. I just don't think Kovacic should be in our plans, to be honest. Edison Worth is only nailed asset to the City defence. I mean, Diaz is pretty nailed as well, to be honest. Last 3 FPL seasons, I've only gone cheap goalies, but the points Edison's getting. I still don't like having expensive goalkeepers. I just don't think they get you enough. Basically. I have come up with a wildcard team that's got 1.9 million left in the bank. So that I did, for a split second, think I could upgrade the goalkeeper, but I just wouldn't want to leave myself that inflexible. Maybe it's the right choice. Because right now, FPL is a game of 6.5-ish million midfielders. And there's a good few cheaper strikers as well. So maybe we can afford to get Edison, but I won't be doing it. Start one, Jota, Sofala, White. Jota, I think. Although he's probably not going to start. Probably Jota. Let's see what happens midweek. I wouldn't worry about who you're starting or not yet. Not this early on. I don't think any of the Chelsea players are like nailed. If we're talking going to start every single week without a question, I don't actually think any of them really are. So you can't say Christensen is nailed now. I got 30 points from just one game, which was 1-0. I had Sarr, Jimenez, Marçal and Livramento. Very nice. I'm using wildcard next week and thinking triple Arsenal. Saka, Ramsdale and Tomiyasu. What do you think? Yeah, don't hate it. I don't know about double Arsenal defence. I just hear there's a lot of other defenders that are good right now. But I guess each to their own. I won't be building my wildcard like that. I'll probably have Trent, 2 Chelsea defenders, Cancelo or Diaz, and then Livramento, I think. I'm not even sure Livramento is... I know everyone loves Livramento, and he is a good option, right? Because he does get forward. He is playing quite advanced. And he could have scored today. He had a pretty good shot. Is he essential? I mean, he is so cheap. He probably is. Probably overthinking not to go for it. Honestly, there's no point in asking me if I think Torres will start. I haven't got a clue. It's Pep Guardiola. Brownhill price 4.4 and starts every week. Yeah, could go for him as a cheap, as just to get another 0.1 million out of your team. So Maxwell or Jimenez. I still think Jimenez. I mean, my opinion's not going to have changed since last week, you know. Why aren't you talking about Vardy? What do you want me to say? No one's going to get Vardy. They can't afford him. If you can afford him, go for it. I put him in my Sky team last week. I've been loving it. 3 goals. But for FPL, it's just hard to fit him in. What do you want me to say? I don't know what you want me to talk about with him. For a start, I already had a question about him in this stream. I mean, unless you're going to put him up front with Lukaku soon, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what else I can say about him. We know he's good, right? He's always been good. He's on penalties. He's going to start every single game. Cancelo for -4. I don't know why you'd want to take a -4 to bring in a defender playing Liverpool. To be honest. 73 points for Sanchez to go caps off a great birthday. Happy birthday. 73 points is huge. Well done. Jota to Rafinha for -4 sounds like a good idea. Not really. I mean, the thing is, he could play against Watford yet, Jota. I don't know about a -4. Maybe for free, I would do that. I mean, I would consider taking Jota out this week if I didn't want him long term, but there is a chance he keeps playing decent minutes, right? Just because Firmino's back doesn't mean that Jota suddenly stops playing completely. I don't know. Right now, the way I'm looking with my wild card, I'm probably going to look at like very nailed players mostly, which is obviously what you should always do. But Cancelo might be one that I go for because I just think he's way more exciting than Diaz. But I'm probably not going to go for Jota. Maybe I'll regret that. But what I will not do is have Simicast. So it's not going to block me from getting Jota at any point. Which front three would you pick on a wild card? To be honest, I haven't really given it much thought, but I think you have to go Lukaku over Ronaldo on a wild card. Another reason I don't necessarily want to do it this week. And then maybe like someone like Antonio or Jimenez, and then probably just a cheapie like Armstrong, I think. Maybe Tony. Depends if you can bench him. Depends how you're setting your wild card up. So I haven't really thought about the wild card massively this week. Would you recommend Grealish long-term on wild card? I think if you're going to go for Man City mid, he's probably the one to get unless you're going to go all the way up to De Bruyne. Like, he's playing every game, he's shooting quite a bit. His numbers are good, similar to what they were last year, but in a better team. I I don't mind Grealish if he fits into your setup. Again, I don't know if I'm going to have him yet, but yeah, I think if you're going to go for someone from Man City, it's probably got to be him. Grealish thoughts, will you do a wildcard draft? I'll do a wildcard video tomorrow. I'm not going to build drafts now. I've not given it enough thought, to be honest. Daniel, top 100 overall rank buzzing. Very nice. How about Hwang King or Pookie for a cheap striker? I'd probably go Adam Armstrong, but not this week. Corey, how's it going? You're so nervous for tomorrow. You're fine. You'll be top of the league. Brighton. Going to smash Palace. Maybe not smash them. Maybe not smash them. Philip, would I go for Decore now he's playing more forward? Probably not. Again, like it's just like the thing is, I think Decore's fine. Like if you're struggling for cash, but I just think there's better. I just think there's better options. Like I said, Rafinha, Saka, Sarr, Benrahma, and Mbeumo at Brentford. Not necessarily right now. I get it, but there's just a lot of options, and I think Decore would not be that high up my list personally. Like he is getting forward, but I still don't know if he's going to deliver enough, like to take up a spot in our midfield. Like midfielders just seem precious right now. Is Alonso rising tonight? A few people have said he might rise tonight. Yeah, I've not looked myself, but it sounds like he might do. The next question will be, should we bring him in early? I wouldn't bring in Alonso unless you're going to be priced out of the move. I would wait and see what happens midweek. Because I'll tell you now, if Alonso plays midweek in Champions League, everyone will panic about his starts next week. How long do you keep Sarr? I think you could keep him for another 4 game weeks if you wanted to. Shaw to Alonso, Ailings to Rudiger, Barnes to Smith Rowe. I don't think you need to get rid of Harvey Barnes if you don't want to this week. It depends how much of a hit that's for. Like if that's for a -8, I don't think so, to be honest. And plus, it's hard to say what to do with Shaw and Ayling right now because we don't even know if they're fit or not. I mean, if Ayling's fit, then playing him against Watford, I mean, that's probably one of the better teams he could play against. Obviously, I've got Sarr, so I'm hoping he doesn't get a return. But I think it's okay playing him there. You're doing squats right now as you watch the stream. Fair play. How many are you doing? Ishpool, I have Bamford, Trent, Reece James, Duffy, and 2 Wolves defenders. I also have 2.1 in the bank. Does Trent and Bamford to Lukaku and Rudiger in Game Week 7 and Reece James to a Man City midfielder in Game Week 8 make sense? I mean, it depends. I mean, if Bamford's fit this week, I think he's a great option. I wouldn't want to get rid of Trent either. So to me, it doesn't make sense, but it might do for your team. Do you know what I mean? Like you've probably thought about it a bit more. Like I don't want to get rid of Trent, to be honest. I don't. I just think Watford's fine. Man United, who knows? They could get a clean sheet. Brighton, West. I mean, these aren't easy fixtures, but they're not also like these fixtures here. Just not. They're not. I mean, they are pretty bad, right? I'll try not to. Let me try not to sugarcoat it. They are. It is a pretty bad run and a lot of away games, I guess. But do I want to use a transfer to get him out and then back in here? I mean, these fixtures all the way here are just good. Probably not. So it might make sense for your team, but only you can really answer that. Rafinha or Sarr? Rafinha all the way. Rafinha will always be, when he's fit, Rafinha will always be the best 6.5 million midfielder, as long as the fixtures are there. Second channel challenge, 100 meters, is that? Walking during the week for every point you get each game week. I need to think about that. I need to think of how much that is. Is 200k a good enough rank at this point? Absolutely. How many Arsenal, Chelsea? I mean, Chelsea, I think it's got to be 3 on wildcard. Arsenal, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe none. You could go into a wildcard without any Arsenal players. Like, I'm not trying to make out that they're now suddenly essential. Like by any means, but I do like Saka. I've always liked Saka. Even last year when everyone was going for Lingard, I still tried to pedal Saka a little bit, although I didn't ever get him in, and he didn't do as well as Lingard, to be fair. I just think Saka is the most nailed. Got 57 points. Disappointed with Ronaldo blank. Is he still must captain? I mean, he's not a must captain. He wasn't must captain this week, but I think he's a good captain. Yeah. Like I honestly, I tweeted about this earlier. I think like trying to make decisions in advance and forgetting about form, I really do think helps me with FPL these days. Like Ronaldo could have scored a hat-trick, or he could have blanked like he did. I'd still captain him this week. Obviously, it's a bit harder if you've got Lukaku as well. I still think Ronaldo might be just slightly ahead. But he's close. It's like this week. If you captain in Lukaku, fair play. If you captain in Ronaldo, fair play. It's like Ronaldo and Salah this week. I said that loads of times. It's super close. I said in the captaincy video, you either back the home thing or you back the midfielder thing. And that was it. I couldn't call it any more than that. Thoughts on Salah captain for this week? I wouldn't do it. It's a bit like Antonio. To be fair, Antonio did outscore Ronaldo, so fair play for anyone that went in. But everyone made out like he was going to get some mega haul because it was Leeds. I just think it's away to Leeds. I don't think Leeds will get walked over in that game. So I don't think Salah is a good captain choice. I thought he was all right last week. I actually put him in the captaincy video. If it was at home, maybe. But again, it's still not ahead of Lukaku or Ronaldo. Do I think Salah is a better captain choice than Salah this week, though? Probably not. Matthew, 74 points this week. Went from 1.4 million to 600,000. Very nice. That's a huge score this week. At least it feels huge, anything. Yeah, Man United were rubbish. I mean, I've got to be honest. I might do a video about this on my football channel. I need to rebrand everything. I'm not someone that really wants to kind of go massively against the manager and just constantly be tweeting Ollie out. Obviously I always support him while he's manager, but I don't have any faith that he's capable of winning anything, really. I just don't think he can match Klopp, Pep or Tuchel, managers like that. I just think they're a level above. And I'm not saying this game was his fault, right? I've only seen the highlights, but the other day it was about putting crosses in and how they shouldn't have played like that. I was like, you're the manager. You decide that. You decide how they play. And I just don't really ever see a game plan that much. I don't know. I don't have massive confidence. I wouldn't sit there Ollie out and really want him out of the club, but I don't think he's good enough. I think a better manager would get more from that squad. You can talk about the defensive midfielder all you want, and yes, it would be an improvement, but I think if you put Pep, Tuchel, or Klopp inside of that Man United team, I think they'd do better. I mean, to be fair, they're three of the best managers in the world, so it's not easy just to go and get someone like that, but at the same time, there's other managers out there, right? I mean, he's done loads of good things, right? He's man management is great, he's kind of brought things back together, but I don't know. I don't have too much confidence after that. I won't be doing wildcard drafts on this video, but I will do on this stream. But I will do a video about it. But it doesn't worry me enough not to captain Ronaldo this week. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe Lukaku owners will get ahead this week. Conte would be great. Yeah, I think it's just you don't want to turn into a Chelsea where you're constantly changing managers. But at the end of the day, Chelsea always win. So maybe that is the way to do it. Conte would just be a completely different culture at the club. That's the thing. So I don't think it's as straightforward as just saying get him in. Anyway, I don't want to turn this into a Man United manager debate. Considering Ronaldo to Vardy, then Ailing to Rudiger, is it worth the 4-point hit? Nah. Why would you take Ronaldo out for a 4-point hit? Shaw injury news. I've got no news. That is the news at this point, I'm afraid. Top 50k already. Very nice. What formation would you prefer? Right now, if I was building a wild card, I think I would build it so you could play 4-3-3, 4-4-2, or 3-4-3. So you could. I just don't like. That's not your usual play style, but that's what I'm thinking of doing. I'm thinking about putting a team together that's got loads of value players rather than a big first 11 and a cheap bench. But it's what you got to do in FPL. You've got to adapt to the season. And right now, apart from Grealish and maybe Jota if he gets good minutes, I don't see any or many good midfielders from kind of Rafinha's price all the way to Salah. It's mental. But it's just the kind of season it is right now. Did Bruno miss on purpose? Of course he didn't. That's such rubbish I see people say about that. Is Trent and Duffy to Rudiger and Cancelo -4 for the next 5? Nah. I don't get why you take out Trent, who's at home, for Cancelo, who's away in the same fixture. I mean, Man City defence is better, but I mean, Liverpool defence is still good as well, and Trent is brilliant. So no. I mean, I guess you're doing it to fund Rudiger, but I wouldn't do it this week for a hit, to be honest. The only thing with Wildcard, what I'm not too sure to do is how much to kind of put minutes considerations on. Obviously, you always want to get players that are nailed, but do you go for Cancelo or Diaz, and do you go for Azpilicueta and Rudiger, or do you go for like Alonso +1? I mean, obviously not Reece James now. I really think right now, if I was going to wildcard, Azpilicueta would be in my team, I think, and maybe Rudiger. Just go proper boring, and just leave Alonso. I just can't get my head around the fact that he keeps starting. Surely Chilwell's going to come back. And that would probably be what loses me a bunch of points over the next few weeks. Bamford injury update. Don't have one, I'm afraid. Jota Sarr for a 1 week punt. Yeah, I don't mind that. Would you rather win FPL overall or have your son get a full college tuition paid in full? I mean, I guess I have to go for the... Well, it depends. How much is a college tuition? You make a bit of money winning FPL, I reckon. And then pay for it out of that. I mean, when you do an FPL channel, winning FPL would be pretty damn good, I'll tell you that. Will Ronaldo take penalties? Do you know what? I'm not actually sure he will. I don't think Ollie would take Bruno off penalties when he's done so well for us. Need to move Bamford and Torres. Not sure about getting Jimenez, even though he scored. Now he's in form. Already have Antonio and Lukaku. I have a gut feeling Torres will play regularly after the Liverpool game. Could be very wrong. Yeah, possibly. You could be wrong. You could be right. I don't know. I just don't think he's worth the trouble. I mean, he kind of is, because if he does play, he's great. He's great value for money. But I just don't think it's worth the minutes concern every week. So, and wait on Bamford news. Like, if Bamford's fit, you just play him, right? 27 grand. I'd probably take winning FPL. He can go and do what I did, get a student loan and be in debt for the rest of his life. That was a joke. Relax, people. You don't need to get on your high horses and tell me I'm an awful parent. He's in the room next door. I just heard him say, I can hear that. Where can we find which players like to rise every day? FPLstatistics.co.uk is what I use. Do I play FIFA? Yes, I've been streaming. In fact, if you want to follow me, I don't know how often I can stream FIFA because... do you know what the problem with streaming FIFA is? I just feel like there's so much pressure to win. But surely people that stream FIFA... Oh, that wasn't even a hyperlink. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to spam that again. The people that play FIFA, unless they're pros, surely they lose, right? They must lose sometimes. I just feel so much pressure to win, I just tilt too much. You don't win money for FPL, but obviously when you've got an FPL channel, if you could say you've won FPL, that probably gets a few people to watch you, you know? Are you shaving the beard? I really need to shave. It's doing my head in. In fact, I might do it later. Why are you spamming? Because it's my stream and I can do whatever the hell I want. You're up against Mark Goldbridge in terms of what? You mean he's streaming right now, you mean? He's talking about FPL. Which Burnley asset to get versus Norwich? Chris Wood. If you win FPL, you're starting a channel. My recommendation is if you want to do an FPL channel, just do it before you win. To be honest, it won't grow as quick as you think. It might do, actually. It might do. Any concerns over accounts getting hacked? I mean, it happened to me. Like, it's probably not as many as it sounds like. Because obviously it's all over Twitter. But I've only seen like a few people. It's not good. And FPL do need to sort it out. Like, two-factor authentication should be a thing. It's 2021. Like, I would use a password manager. Since when I got hacked, I started using a password manager. Super, super helpful. Thoughts on Adama Traore not starting? So, initial instinct is he probably needs to go. But I didn't think Podence or Hwang were very good at all. But Dent's just look. I don't know. Maybe it's because they haven't played very many minutes recently. I wasn't impressed. And if there's a chance that he starts against Newcastle, I'd want to keep him. So I wouldn't rush out to sell Traore. The problem is, I don't know if we're going to get any indications about whether they're going to play, whether he's going to play or not. It's 3 o'clock on Saturday though, so you never know. The deadline's not until Saturday. If Traore was going to start, I think I'd keep him for Newcastle. Short to Rudiger now because the price rise drops. If you want to, but unless you're going to be priced out, I wouldn't bother. It is a bit annoying, I've got to be honest, that all the Chelsea defenders are rising in price. Like the wildcard in Game Week 8 that I want, I might not be able to afford. Rudiger's probably not going to go up into tonight by the looks of it. Carlos, Jota out, Sarr and James out, Rudiger in for -4. Is it worth it to take the hit? It depends if you've got another defender that can play instead. If you have, just don't take the hit, I'd say. Yeah, by the way, yeah, I kind of agree that if you wanted to sell Traore, it's probably a good move. But if for some reason we knew he was going to start, then I'd probably want him for Newcastle home. Right now, the 4 best fixtures I think you can get is Leeds at home, Norwich at home. Wait, no, hang on. Top 5 fixtures. Leeds at home, Norwich at home, Newcastle at home, Leeds at home. Did I say Leeds already? I need to write these down. Hang on. Hang on. Let me write all these teams. Norwich, yeah. Yeah, so the 5 best fixtures I reckon you can get. Leeds, Watford, Newcastle, Norwich, Burnley. Any of those 5 teams at home. And Traore's got Newcastle at home. It's a good fixture. What about Smith Rowe? My minutes predictions. I'm not an Arsenal fan. So Arsenal fans, if you're in the chat, let me know if I'm wrong. I feel like Aubameyang and Saka and Odegaard are the 3 who are probably going to start most weeks. And then the other positions basically for Pepe or Smith Rowe. Now, I'm not saying that Smith Rowe might start 4 out of 5. I don't know. But I feel like in that same time, Saka might start 5 out of 5 or Odegaard might start 5 out of 5. FPL Lord, Reece James owner, do I transfer to Rudiger before being priced out? If you're going to be priced out, I don't have a huge issue making an early transfer, but you have to know there's a risk that someone gets injured and that affects you. One thing I will say, if you're thinking about taking the wildcard in Game Week 8, you could make early transfers this week, and if it really goes wrong, you could just hit the wildcard button a week early. You don't really want to get pushed into a wildcard, but it is a backup. How much money should I keep in the bank for flexibility? It doesn't really matter, to be honest. If you need to use all the money, use it all. Yogesh, wildcard. Sanchez, Foster, Cancelo, Trent, Alonso, Livramento, Simicast. Oh, I wouldn't have Simicast on a wildcard. No way. It's a waste of a Liverpool spot now. Benrahma, Sarr, Rafinha, Mo, Kovacic. I wouldn't have Kovacic either. Antonio Wood. I'm not sure I'd have Chris Wood. Oh, Chris is a weak punt and more pay for Norwich. Personally, I would just go for more pay. If you want to go for it, do it. But I don't like booking a transfer straight away. Is Jota out, Rafinha in worth it? I like that move. I think Rafinha, when he's fit and got good fixtures, is pretty much one of the best value players in the game. I've been saying it all season. I'm not going to change my opinion on that at any point, I think, this season. You know me, I love him. Go for Tommy Asu. I'm not going to have Tommy Asu. I'll have Ramsdale or Tierney, I think. I got to be honest, I haven't checked his numbers so far, Tommy Asu, but my gut feeling is Tierney is just better to pay for. Yeah, not looking great. But is Smith Rowe nailed? Is he? Because then, if you're saying Smith Rowe now, I feel like Saka, Aubameyang and Odegaard are pretty nailed too. So you're saying that Pepe's just not going to play? I feel like Pepe not going to play? Arsenal fan, Emil's spot to lose. Fair enough. I do think Smith Rowe will play a lot of games. I just feel like he's not quite as nailed as the rest. But like I said, I'm not an Arsenal fan, so maybe I'm wrong. I still think Saka is the best option anyway. I just feel like he's more likely to get a goal than the other two. Jose Sa, the GOAT. Absolutely. Absolutely. Am I playing my wildcard? Probably not this season. You can add Spurs at home for teams to target. Not yet. Not yet. It's too soon to be saying things like that. Saka can also be rested for Pepe. Yeah. Yeah, he could. I don't know if he will be, though. Thoughts on Foden in false 9 against top teams and attacking mid against easy teams? Yeah, I don't know if it's worth it. I really don't. I don't know. I'm always a bit wary of Man City players. Sometimes to my detriment because they do score so many goals. But the thing with Foden is he's great right now. But what happens when Gundogan's back? Does he play as much then as a number 8? I don't know. What price is Foden? 7.9. It feels like a lot. I'd rather just have Grealish, I think. Lloris out now. Should I wait 2 weeks? Have you got a wild card? Because if you have, just get him out when you wild card, I would say. If you had Lukaku, would you give him a captain over Ronaldo? Yeah, that is going to be the question of the week, isn't it? I think I'd captain Ronaldo, but it's so close, honestly. I'd happily have either. And it's not just trying to sit on the fence. It genuinely is that close this week. James and Jota to Azpilicueta and Saka for a -4. Yeah, I don't mind that. But let's wait till the end of the week. Let's see what happens with Firmino and stuff midweek. How to keep ahead of rises and not get priced out. Well, you have to make early transfers. That's all you can do, really. Depends if you want to take that risk. PV, any Spurs fans tuned in? If so, ha 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 ha. Biased at this point. Honestly, the bias stuff is so boring. Like I've just started muting people on the YouTube channel because no one said it last week when I captained Salah ahead of Ronaldo. No one said it the week before when Ronaldo got 2 goals. It's just that he didn't score this week, so suddenly it's bias. It's nonsense, honestly. Safe wildcard draft: Ramsdale, Rudiger, Alonso, Cancelo, Diaz, Trent. Yeah, this is kind of standard wildcard we're going to see. Salah, Rafinha, Lukaku, St. Maximin, Antonio bench, Ben Rahma, and Bohemo. Yeah, it looks good. That's the kind of team we're going to see, I think. Not sure about having Skip and Sissoko though. Maybe we'll upgrade one of them to a different one. Yeah, I kind of agree. I feel like Saka is the most nailed attacker in the Arsenal team. I don't know if Cristiano Ronaldo will take the next penalty. Should we be taking Brentford players more seriously? I mean, yeah, when their fixtures are good. The fixtures just aren't good right now. I know they gave Liverpool a good run for their money, but I wouldn't be going out of my way to buy them right now. I mean, Leicester's not that bad of a fixture, but it's West Ham away, Chelsea at home, Leicester at home. It's not ideal. But again, if you had a Game Week 8 wildcard, I'd probably have a Brentford player on there because from Game Week 9, they look fine. So yeah, I think they're good. I think Mbeumo, I said at the start of the season, I thought he was the 5.5. I mean, my opinion probably changed a bit now, but Mbeumo and Tony, both good options. I still don't know about the defence. I just think there's so many other good options. I wouldn't be going for a defender, but yeah, attacker's good. If you've got Ronaldo and Lukaku up front, there's too much money in your front line. I mean, I completely agree. I've said that all along, but a lot of people would just... The only reason people went Lukaku and Ronaldo is because they're too scared not to own one, basically. I mean, Ronaldo in the last 3 weeks has scored 21 points, 7 points per match. It's pretty decent. Lukaku in the last 3 weeks has scored 17. So what's that? Like 5 point something? I mean, it's okay. They're only good value if you're going to captain them, which is why I've said all along I'm happy to get rid of Ronaldo when the time's right. Yeah, honestly, the bias comments, I've just started blocking people. It's not worth the time, to be honest. Like, if Ronaldo scores yesterday, you don't hear anything about bias at all. And I've literally said, once Game Week 7 done, he's sellable. I've said that the whole time. United with an early kick again. No Ronaldo captain for me. Yeah, well, at least we'll know who's going to play, I guess. Hopefully we'll find out about Greenwood. That would really help me out. Stuart, thank you very much. Glad you're enjoying it. Shaq and Laka. Start Trent or Cancelo or both. I mean, it depends whichever defenders you got, but I would definitely start Trent over Cancelo. Would you go Mount or Saka as a Jota replacement? Probably Saka, but only because I don't want a Chelsea midfield spot taken over. Early kickoff doesn't make any difference. Completely ignore it. It's just this weird thing FPL managers talk about. It does not matter one bit. It's not logical to think that because he's playing the early kickoff, you shouldn't go for him. Am I going to FPL Fest in January? No, probably not. Because there's a deadline the next day. So deadline stream and stuff needs to be done. Shaw and Greenwood out for Alonso and Sarr -4. Maybe as long-term moves, but I think if Greenwood starts this week, and we might find out early because it's early kickoff, I think you can just do the Shaw move. Unless you need the money. If you need the money, then yeah, fair enough. If Shaw's out. If Shaw's not out, then I don't think you need to take a -4 personally, but I can see why you'd want Alonso. Gavin, how's it going? Torres and so far to Rafinha and Rudiger from -4. Price race tonight will price me out, so we'll be able to gamble on early transfers. Yeah, if it's going to price you out, you could do it, but you know what the risk is. You know there could be injuries. Rudiger and Rafinha could both get injured. Like with Rafinha, he's literally carrying a knock, so that carries even more risk on doing it early. So it's entirely up to you. If you're literally going to be priced out, you could risk it. If you've got a wild card, then maybe do it. If you don't, I'd really be wary. When to move Greenwood on? I've kind of been a bit sceptical about Greenwood the whole way through, even though I bought him in. I think you give him this week, as long as he starts, and then time to move on, I think. Early kickoff makes no difference. Makes no difference. Man United, game week 1. Okay, it wasn't the first game of the week, but it was the early kickoff on Saturday. They won 5-1. The early kickoff for Liverpool, Saturday, game week 2, they won 2-0. Assist for Trent, Tsimikas, Mane and Jota scored. Saturday, first game, Man City, they won 5-0. I mean, Palace won 3-0 in game week 4, but that is Spurs. And then early kickoff Saturday was Brentford beat Wolves. So, yeah, early kickoff makes zilcho difference. Zilcho. I know some people do it because if it goes wrong, their whole weekend's ruined. And I kind of get that, to be honest. But in terms of making optimal decisions, what time the player is playing should make no difference whatsoever. No difference. Radio commentary suggested Alonso had a shocker yesterday, which makes me think Chilwell's return is imminent. Anyone who saw the game agree, disagree. The thing is, they were playing Man City, right? So if you're going to have a shocker, maybe it's that game. Or top 6 is hard to call. I'd have to have a think about it. Maybe even do a separate video on it. I mean, Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City. Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Man United, yeah, the 4. The other 2 is really hard. Really hard. No, I'm drinking water, not vodka. I can't show you my Game of K wildcard thing, so I don't have it locked in. I do think I could make it in about 10 minutes, though. I don't think I'd have to think too much about it. And then I'll be spending the whole international break thinking about it. Now I've said that. Antonio captain over Ronaldo. Not for me. But go for it if you want to. Is Kovacic nailed? You discouraged it as a wildcard pick. Yeah, still will. Is he nailed? I think he pretty much is, yeah. I mean, there are games he'd probably miss, but yeah, fairly nailed. Still don't think he's a good pick. Will you keep Ronaldo or bring in Lukaku this week? I will. The thing is, this is where you got to keep in mind it's my team. So I will probably keep Ronaldo this week because if I make a transfer, it's for Ayling or Shaw. Right? And if I'm going to wildcard in Game of K, I don't want to be taking hits. So that's why. Even so, I probably wouldn't make that transfer anyway. I'm happy to play Ronaldo this week. To captain him, sorry. Who's to take out first, Pogba or Torres, and for who? Well, for who, I'll leave up to you. At least Pogba's playing, I guess. I'd probably take out... I don't know, actually, because if Torres does play, he kind of plays advanced, and I just don't think Pogba's that great. But Pogba's got the easier fixture this week, so probably Torres, but... Is St. Maximin a good shout? I mean... I guess you got to say yes. He looked good again this weekend. I never wrote him off anyway. I don't know. Wolves away, Spurs at home, Chelsea at home next 4. He won't be coming near my wildcard team. Let me just say that. I mean, he's an okay option. I just think there's better options out there. But look, as I tweeted earlier, like when I make my decisions, I try not to update my prior thinking like too quick. Like it's something I've kind of learned from all the stats and analytical people out there is just because a team starts doing well for 3 weeks doesn't mean they're completely changed. So my thinking with St. Maximin might be a bit slow, and actually maybe he's really good now. And it's going to take me a few weeks to catch up on that, a bit like Lingard last year. And by doing that, it means you're not knee-jerking all the time. Like, remember the panic last week about Wolves defenders? It was mental. And then they went and got a clean sheet this week. And they didn't really get troubled that much, although Jose Sarr did make quite a few saves, I guess. So maybe I've got it wrong with St. Maximin, but I'm prepared to wait it out and see. I don't expect him to kind of punish me that badly, really. Ignore the trolls. I try to. It is difficult to ignore idiots, though. Up to 3k, thanks you. Well done. 3k is ridiculous. It's nosebleed territory already. Mount or Greenwood for game week 7. I don't know, actually. Maybe Greenwood just... Yeah, no, I said this last week. Like, St. Maximin is so fun to watch. If you do own him, you like, as much as it's horrible maybe watching Newcastle at times, like, they are going for it, and St. Maximin is a big part of that. So it's nice to watch, that's for sure. Who is expected to be out for longer, Shaw or James? James, I think. I think, like, Shaw sounds pretty short term, but we don't know for sure. Get it? But with Reece James, it sounds like it could be 4 weeks. But again, should say, no official diagnosis for either player, so the answer is I don't really know right now. What's my fan team rank? Probably not good. I'm 8k, so I've gone up another 3k this week so far. I've still got Sanchez and Dunk to come. Oh, Harry Maguire got the clean sheet, didn't he? Yeah. I vice-captain Salah, though, and captain Ronaldo, which wasn't great. I bought in Jimenez this week in fan team as well, and I had a Rafinha Sarr. So I've actually had a pretty good week. Trent's the only player that's blanked for me. And Ronaldo, I guess. Semedo went off with a knock, but it didn't look too serious, so just wait and see. There's Champions League games this week, yeah. What do I think of Jesus? I mean, he is starting quite regularly, and from game week 8, Man City's fixtures are quite good, but he takes up a forward spot, and I don't think it's worth it. Maguire went off before the goal was scored. Rafinha or Sarr? It's always Rafinha. Always Rafinha. Always. Son or a Chelsea mid? To be honest, it's probably Son. I don't think the Chelsea midfielders are that exciting, to be honest. I won't be going for one. I did think about Mount a few weeks ago, but I probably won't be going there. Thoughts on benching Trent? I mean, there is probably a world where that's a good move. No, it could be this one. This world. It depends who you're playing instead of him. Like, it is one of their toughest games all season, so it's not necessarily a bad move. It just depends who for. Bearing in mind his attacking potential. I know obviously he's going to be pinned back a bit, but Adam won a 5 on Ultimate Fan. Very nice. Congratulations. I did awful in Ultimate Fan. I had the players, I just didn't play them, which is classic FPL style, I guess. Do you read comments where everything is capitalized? I don't really specifically look for them, and if I do, I kind of ignore them. Your next video would be your 1,000th video. I knew that was coming around soon. I wonder... I've actually got more than 1,000 on the channel, but some are private. They're like old gaming videos. Let's have a look. I thought I'd done over 1,000 already. Oh yeah, 199. I think this might be the 1,000th, you know? If CR7 scores 3 this game, would he be in your wildcard? No. And this is what I'm saying about like all this knee-jerking. He doesn't have the fixtures, and I won't be captaining him. Therefore, I don't need him. And like when you play like that, I don't know. It just, for me, it just gives a lot of focus. Like, and it just makes the game like, it's not necessarily easier to do well in, but it's just easier to think through your moves. That's why I'm not need. That's why like all the I was a little bit concerned about Jimenez, but Jimenez and Sarr, all that noise about they haven't scored, they're not in form. Like, I just don't think about form whatsoever. Like, as I said in the preview, Ronaldo is not fixture proof. He just isn't. Like, fixture proof is a myth. It's an absolute myth, and it doesn't mean he can't score in those harder games, but the chances are much lower. So I won't have him. It doesn't matter. He could score 6 goals against Everton, and I still won't have him on my wild card. You got lucky with Sarr, yeah. As I said to someone on Twitter, it's always lucky when someone scores. Otherwise, it's just a bad decision. Planning wildcard in Gameweek 8. I've got 2 free transfers. Would you swap Salah for a 5.8 million mid and swap Scarlett to Lukaku? 5.8 mid. I mean, no, I wouldn't. I'd have Salah, to be honest with you. I mean, Salah's the best captain in Gameweek 8. This is the thing about Lukaku. This is why potentially I don't have to wildcard, because I think I'm full on. I'm happy enough to captain Ronaldo this week. And in Game Week 8, Salah's the best captain anyway. And so Ronaldo versus Leicester or Lukaku versus Brentford doesn't really matter. So it's Game Week 9 when Lukaku plays Norwich at home. That's the week where I feel like I really need him. So I could possibly get away without wildcarding. I just think it's going to leave me a bit far behind, which is why I'm probably not going to do it. But who knows? Let's see. If Luke Shaw's out and I end up getting a Chelsea defender, and then I feel like I can just get another Chelsea defender the week afterwards. Maybe take Greenwood out for a hit. Maybe I won't wildcard. Jimenez captain punt against a leaky Newcastle. I don't think he's a bad captain. I mean, he's not in like probably top 3, top 5. But again, if you're going for a differential, Jimenez against Newcastle, why the hell not? Sold Saka for Sarr on a -4. Got to not go on sale. Oh, ouch. At least Sarr scored though, so you're only down like what, 8 points or so. What if CR7 scores 6? I literally just gave that scenario. It feels like you're wildcarding to make your bench stronger, which feels like a waste. I would change. So on my wildcard, I would change Greenwood, Jimenez, Ronaldo, Ayling, Shaw, Simicast, Veltman, Basuma probably, and maybe the goalkeeper. So that's potentially 9 out of 15 players I would change. So I don't think that's that bad at all. It's not just changing my bench. I would literally change all my defence apart from Trent. You're right about him and his celebration. Very emotional. Yeah, it was a lot of relief, wasn't it? Like, it was aggression and relief all at the same time. Which is not a surprise, right? He's been out for so long. Javid, watching from Trinidad, hello. Shaw and Bamford and Marçal to Rudiger and Alonso and Jimenez now to beat the price rise for a -8. Do you need to? You don't need to get rid of Marçal this week for a -4. He's playing Newcastle at home. I know St Maximin's doing well, but you still keep him, right? He's good. Yeah, I'm still doing my walks, 10,000 steps every day. 10,000 steps every single day. In fact, today I'm on 16,862. I went for an extra walk today. Aubameyang new captain choice looks like he's back. Yeah, if the fixture's right, maybe. I can't. The thing is, though, there's always going to be a better option, I think. Like, when could you captain him? You could possibly captain Game Week 8 against Crystal Palace. Well, Salah's got Watford. Game Week 9, Villa at home. Lukaku's got Norwich. Game Week 11, Watford at home. Maybe Game Week 11, Aubameyang might be a good captain against Watford at home, because Liverpool playing West Ham away, and Man United are playing Man City. Chelsea got Burnley though, so Lukaku's another good captain. So it's difficult to have Aubameyang in at the expense of someone like Lukaku. You captain Aubameyang this week, fair play. Fair play. Good replacement for Traore. Already got Jota, Sarr, Benrahma. Saka, Rafinha. He's got to be Rafinha, isn't it? United have Villarreal in Champions League, a must-win. You think they will have stamina against a decent Everton on the weekend? Of course, both games are at home, but they always run out of legs. I think they're used to it. I wouldn't be too worried. I mean, you can say the same thing about Chelsea. They've got to play Juventus. Apparently, those step counters actually make people walk slightly less than normal. They see they've done their required number, just sit for the rest of the day. Trust me, I'm doing way more. I started walking before I had the watch. The watch just helped me track it. Yeah. I mean, sometimes, yeah, I hit 10,000, I'm done. But I don't purposely not walk. Like, if I have to go somewhere and walk, I still do it. But trust me, it's making me walk more. Hitting 10, like it's 10,000 minimum a day. So it's like I said on one of my videos, it's not 70,000 over a week. If I do, so I've done 16,000 today. That doesn't mean 4,000 tomorrow. It means another 10,000. So I don't think that's true at all. Not for me anyway. Currently -4, or do I -8 for second Chelsea defender 1 week early? I don't think you need to be taking all these hits for Chelsea defenders, to be completely honest, unless you've got loads of injuries. Espen, thank you very much. New Apple Watch, but then I've got to turn into one of those Apple people. Then again, I might get an iPad, so maybe then I'll get the iPhone and all this kind of stuff. Okay, what's the time? Oh, it's 9 o'clock. All right, we're going to leave it there. I think we've answered a lot of questions. It's always good just to do an hour so people can watch it afterwards. And I'll be doing loads of videos this week. I'll have extra videos because of the wildcard stuff. So that will be coming tomorrow. So thank you for watching. Please do give the video a like on your way out. We can definitely hit 1,000 before you all leave. So go and hit that like button if you've enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button if you are new around here. And I will be back tomorrow with a wildcard video. I might do the watch list video tomorrow as well. I've got a Garmin, by the way, Garmin Vivo Active 4. It's pretty good. Then you need to get AirPods too. Exactly. You just fall into this cycle of Apple rubbish, although it's not rubbish. Actually, okay, I'll quickly answer this. I've got to answer this because it's a super chat. Salah down to a 7 million mid and Lukaku and Paprika for free for 1 week and get Salah back on wildcard. Yes, as long as you're not going to be priced out of any moves you want to make, because Salah has gone up in price. You'll have to pay extra to get him back. But I don't mind that at all. I don't mind that. Okay. Just count your steps. That'd be a nightmare. Anyway, I like the watch, all right? I like the steps. Relax. Hit that like button. Go and hit it now. Help me get to 1,000. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you tomorrow for the wildcard video. Good luck. Don't make any rash moves, all right? Patience. Patience is the name of the game. See you soon.